A fallacy is a defect or error in an argument's reasoning, where the premises fail to support the conclusion. It represents a flawed pattern of reasoning that can lead to incorrect or misleading conclusions. Fallacies are broadly categorized into two main types: formal fallacies and informal fallacies. Let's explore each type in detail. Formal fallacies are errors in deductive reasoning that are identifiable purely by the argument's structure or form. This means that even if the premises are true, the conclusion does not necessarily follow from them. They are syntactic because they relate to the arrangement of components within the logical structure. Let's look at affirming the consequent. If it is raining, the streets will be wet. The streets are wet. Therefore, it is raining. This is fallacious because the streets could be wet for other reasons. The form shows the structural error clearly. Denying the antecedent follows this pattern. If it rains, the ground will be wet. It did not rain. Therefore, the ground is not wet. Again, fallacious reasoning. The ground could be wet for another reason, like a sprinkler. The undistributed middle fallacy. All cats are mammals, all dogs are mammals. Therefore, all cats are dogs. The term mammals is not distributed, leading to a flawed conclusion. Informal fallacies are different. They're not solely dependent on the argument's structure. Instead, they arise from the content, context, or language used, often involving misunderstandings. They are semantic because they relate to the meaning of the argument. Ad hominem involves attacking the character of the person making an argument, rather than addressing the substance of their argument. It avoids genuine debate by creating a diversion using irrelevant but charged attributes. Tu quoque, meaning you also, is when a patient tells their doctor, "You say I should stop smoking because it's unhealthy, but you smoke 2 packs a day." This attacks the doctor's hypocrisy, not the argument. Appeal to force uses threats. "I deserve a raise. After all, it'd be a shame if your wife found out where you really were last weekend." This uses psychological pressure instead of logical reasoning. Appeal to pity evokes sympathy. "Professor, please consider raising my grade. I had a terrible semester. My car broke down, my laptop was stolen, and my cat got sick." Appeal to the people argues something is true because it's popular. Of course you want to buy Crest. 90% of Americans use it. Popularity doesn't equal truth or quality. Straw man misrepresents an opponent's argument. Person A says, "We should invest more in improving public schools." Person B replies, "So you're saying we should throw all our money into schools and have no funds left for anything else? That's absurd." The original argument was reasonable, but the straw man version is easy to attack. Red herring diverts attention. Person A says, "You should really start cleaning up your dirty dishes after meals." Person B responds, "Well, maybe I wouldn't leave dishes if you didn't blast your music late at night." The key word here is distract, steering away from the central point. Appeal to unqualified authority relies on irrelevant expertise. Dr. Smith, a renowned physicist, says that ghosts exist. Therefore, ghosts must be real. Dr. Smith's expertise is in physics, not paranormal phenomena. Appeal to ignorance exploits lack of evidence. There's no evidence that medicine X is harmful, so medicine X is safe. Or, no one has disproven the existence of aliens, so aliens must exist. Hasty generalization draws broad conclusions from limited examples. "I met one rude person from that country, so all people from that country must be rude." One example doesn't represent everyone. False cause assumes correlation equals causation. The rooster crows immediately before sunrise. Therefore, the rooster causes the sun to rise. Temporal succession doesn't prove causation. Slippery slope assumes extreme consequences. If you try one cigarette, you'll become addicted to smoking. Soon, you'll be smoking a pack a day, get cancer, and die. Not every small action leads to extreme outcomes. False dilemma presents only 2 options. You're either a success or a failure. In reality, there's a whole spectrum between these extremes. Composition moves from parts to whole. Each piece of paper in this book is thin. Therefore, this entire book must be thin. Many thin parts can make a thick whole. Division moves from whole to parts. The company is very successful. Therefore, each employee must be highly successful. The whole doesn't determine individual parts. Understanding these fallacies helps us think more critically and communicate more effectively. Remember, formal fallacies are structural errors, while informal fallacies involve content and context. Recognizing these patterns will make you a better thinker and communicator.